again, guys. For my last video, I have a lot of great old vintage cards I still wanted to show you before we get shut down here with this whole Copa thing. So I'm going to make another video. I have some fabulous cards to show you right now. Now I'm wearing my Cuban shirt and my Cuban hat. I lived in Miami for a while. Close enough, right? So anyway, I'm wearing that in honor of the first card I'm about to show you. So with this Copa thing, shutting us down and all of that, I feel like the South Park episode. They took our jobs. That's what a lot of the YouTube creators are going to be saying, I guess. It's a shame. So anyway, wearing my Cuban gear in honor of this rare card. 1915, Susina, Tris Speaker. I believe they only made a few cards in this set, but this is definitely, I believe, the top card in the set. But these are pretty rare and not easy to find. Now, I've had some requests. Forgot to put my one glove on. Johnny One Glove coming to you now with some great vintage cards. Here we go. I had some requests recently. One of them was for the 1912 Hassan triple folders. So here's the Ty Cobb. I have the Tris Speaker. Home Run Baker. There's the Fred Clark, and I think that's Byrne. Here's the Tommy Leach and Chief Wilson. Owen Wilson. Not the comedian. Here's Philippe and George Gibson. I like this one because it's a picture battery from the great early Pirates teams. And we got a Bad Bill Dalen. And speaking of the early Pirates teams, I have this Fatima team card of the Pirates featuring Honus Wagner. This is the only one of these I have, but these are pretty great. We have an old Eddie Siccardi. One of my favorite cards of his. It's just pops with that uniform. I just love these E-cards. The E-cards were candy issues, and they were designated by Mr. Burdick with the E designation. There's a Christy Mathewson. Beautiful card. This is a T213 card. And these are easy for people to think that they're T206s, but they're not. They're different. And this is the Johnny Evers. It's the same pose. These cards here are much more, much thinner, much harder to find in top condition, and they're a lot rarer. But these are thin little coupon cards. Got an Eddie Plank. He does not have a whole lot of cards, and man, they're pricey. Nice to have an Eddie Plank in the collection. Got another Mathewson here. Another beautiful card. His cards tend to be just so nice. Here we have a Buck Herzog, and look at that pose. Just a great looking card. We have Sam Lever from this quirky little set. I like these cards though. A lot of these cards have these cartoony images that don't look anything like the player. And a Home Run Baker. Wee Willie Keeler. Roger Brezhnehan. What was he? The first to wear what? Shin guards? Chest protector? I think shin guards, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Got Bobby Wallace. His most valuable card has to be the T205, no hat. That's a short print. Got a George Mullen, Addy Joss. Got another George Gibson. I just love this pose. This has to be my favorite Fred Clark card. That's just a great card. Sam Crawford. Nick Maddox, he was with the Pirates. John McGraw. Always had a fascination with these Dockman and Sons. Larry Doyle. Dots Miller. And if you ever see a picture of him, he looked like a little kid. Eddie Collins. This one's beat up, but these cards are hard to find, and I don't know. You know, sometimes a card just speaks to me. And I don't mind my vintage cards looking a little vintage, right? Jack Berry. Here's one of those old game cards I did in my one video when I talked about collecting vintage. And this is a Nap Lajoie, and it's a Gem Mint 10. They made these cards, I guess, a game of, and they were all of him. And these are, you know, these are pretty readily available, pretty easy to find in top grade. I haven't seen a whole lot of 10s, but there's, a ton of 9s I've seen. And it's a real affordable card. If you don't have vintage or you don't have a Nap Lajoie card, Ty Cobb said he was the best line hitter he ever saw. He's a great player, really high all-time batting average. This is not a bad way to go. And then I have some of these. Oh, let me get the best one. '14 Polo Grounds. Here's the Honus Wagner. And we have Home Run Baker. And we have Cy Young. I have the Shoeless Joe Jackson, but I probably showed you that 8 times, so I'm not going to show it again. Tris Speaker. And we have Stuffy McGinnis. And I just realized I have a... There it is. I showed it to you already. Okay. So, what else do we have? How about these Tip Top Breads from 1910? These are really rare. They made them for the world champion Pirates. We get 3 of them. Man, the Honus Wagner is worth a boatload. If you had that, you might even be able to pay for those Copa fines. And how about a Chick Gandil minor league card? Great card. Yeah, this has always been one of my favorite cards. And 1910 Orange Border Set. This is the championship Pirates from then. And these cards are rare. I have the Ty Cobb, which I think I showed you guys before. These cards are rare. And I have just, let's see here, just a few random that are a little newer. I just wanted to show you. That's a 34 Gowdy Dizzy Dean. We have the 49 Bauman Satchel Paige. Have the 1950 Drakes Yogi Berra. And the Venezuelan Roberto Clemente from '66. These Venezuelans are so much fun because, grade kind of goes out the window with them. When they distributed these in Venezuela, the kids would put them in books. It was very common that they would glue them in books, and they would beat the heck out of them. And they're really, I have a whole bunch of them. And part of the fun is, it's almost like when you were young and you didn't really care about the condition of the card as much as the card itself. And that's what it's like to collect these, and that's why I love them. Because, you know, they're really hard to find, and they look nice in just about any condition. You know, I don't buy them with paper loss or anything like that, but you can expect bad backs on these. That's pretty common. So I try to find, you know, the nicest surfaces I can find when I purchase them. And here we have a 1908 Johnny Evers. One of my favorite all-time cards is this Nap Ladjaway. Thing's just gorgeous. And another one of my favorites is this Joe Tinker. Now, in addition to the Hassan folders, I also had another request if I had any 1934 Butterfingers, and I do. Now, these Butterfingers are very thin, very, very thin paper, basically, photos. Really hard to find in top condition. I got this first one I'm going to show you a long time ago, and man, it is just in impeccable condition. No little tears or anything. It's just in such nice condition. I put it in a photo frame and it just stays there, and that's my Dizzy Dean. I would really like to have the Lou Gehrig in this set. That's one I wouldn't mind adding. And as far as Lou Gehrig's go, that's one of the more affordable ones you can find. And I mean, I've never found one in top grade though. Usually there's some a little paper loss or cut, but as long as it presents well, I wouldn't mind owning one. Here's a Chick Hafey, Hall of Famer, and a guy who pitched with Dizzy Dean, Tex Carlton. And these are all in pretty nice shape. The Dizzy Dean's just really, really sharp. So, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.